This video is about the cashier couldn't pay the bill until the heiress built her a home. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. Alina Thompson had a gift for hiding her struggles. Each day, as the doors of Maplewood Grocer slid open to reveal the hustle and bustle of her little town, she donned a smile that could brighten even the dreariest of days. The bell above the door jingled as she greeted customers, her voice warm and inviting. "Good morning, Mrs. Jenkins, how's your garden this time of year?" she would ask, her eyes sparkling with genuine interest. "Though, it is blooming beautifully, dear, just like your heart," Mrs. Jenkins would reply, patting Alina's hand as she passed by. But inside, Alina felt like she was drowning. At 28, she juggled a part-time job at the grocery store with her responsibilities as a single mother to her 5-year-old son, Noah. The weight of unpaid bills pressed heavily on her shoulders, like a storm cloud threatening to burst. The modest apartment they shared had peeling paint and creaky floors, but Alina filled it with warmth, laughter, and love. Every night, as Noah drifted off to sleep after bedtime stories, she whispered dreams of a better life to him, a home with a garden for him to play in, and a place where they could feel secure. But each morning, reality crashed back in as she faced the stark truth of their financial struggles. One day, as she was ringing up a customer, she noticed a familiar face lingering at the checkout. It was Mira Caldwell, the town's enigmatic heiress, known for her elusive nature and lavish lifestyle. Rumors swirled about the Caldwell estate, a mansion that towered over the rest of Maplewood, shimmering like a distant star that felt unreachable. Alina tried to shake off the apprehension. Mira was known for her philanthropy, but Alina felt out of place in her presence. After ringing up the last of the customers' groceries, she turned to Mira, swallowing the nervous lump in her throat. "Hi, can I help you with something?" she asked, forcing a smile. Mira stepped forward, her soft, melodic voice cutting through the store-esque clatter. "I was wondering if you could recommend a charity in town. I want to give back in some way." Alina's heart fluttered at the thought of someone like Mira wanting to help. "Well, there's the Maplewood Community Center. They run various programs for families in need." Mira nodded thoughtfully. "That sounds lovely. I'll check it out. Thank you." She gave a sweet smile, one that lingered in Alina's mind long after Mira left. As the days turned into weeks, Alina continued to face her daily battles. The bills piled high, and the food pantry became her lifeline. Each evening, she would sit at the tiny kitchen table with Noah, crafting meals from whatever she could gather, all while trying to maintain an aura of normalcy. "Mommy, are we having spaghetti again?" Noah asked one night, his eyes wide with hope. "Yes, sweetheart, spaghetti it is with a side of garlic bread," Alina replied, her heart aching at the thought of his innocent excitement. "Yeah, I love spaghetti." Noah cheered, unaware of the tears brimming in her eyes. He was her sunshine, the reason she got out of bed each morning, fueling her resolve to create a better life. One rainy afternoon, as Alina was sorting through a box of old clothes, a knock on the door startled her. She opened it cautiously, finding Mira standing there, drenched from the rain but still radiant. "Hi, I hope I am not interrupting," Mira said, smiling shyly. "I wanted to drop off some things for the community center and maybe chat." Alina's heart raced. Sure, come in, I'll get you a towel." As they settled onto the worn couch, Mira glanced at the room, taking in its modest decor. "You have a lovely home, Alina," she said genuinely. "I know it might not seem like much, but it has a warmth that is hard to find." Alina felt a rush of gratitude, surprised that someone like Mira would notice. "Thank you, it is a work in progress much like me." Mira chuckled, the sound like a gentle breeze. "You have a beautiful spirit, and I admire that about you. It is rare to meet someone who carries their struggles with such grace." Alina's smile faltered. "I don't feel graceful most days," she admitted. "The juggling responsibilities can be overwhelming." "Tell me about it," Mira replied softly, her eyes revealing a depth of understanding. "I've faced my own challenges, even with all the privileges I grew up with. It is not always easy." The two women shared stories of their lives, unveiling layers of vulnerability. Alina learned that Mira had lost her mother to illness at a young age, leaving her feeling lost in a world of wealth she never wanted. They laughed over shared experiences, bonding over the beauty of resilience. As the conversation deepened, Mira's gaze turned serious. "Alina, have you been thinking about what you said at the community center? I want to do more than just donate. I want to create something that supports families like yours." Alina was taken aback. "What do you mean?" I want to build a home for single mothers, a sanctuary where they can find support, resources, and a path to a better future. You inspire me, and I know there are many like you who could use a helping hand. Alina's breath caught in her throat. That sounds incredible, but it's a huge undertaking. Are you sure you want to do that? Mira nodded firmly. Absolutely. I've been thinking of ways to give back, and I believe this could make a tangible difference with the right planning. We can create something beautiful together. Tears filled Alina's eyes, blurring her vision. A dream she had whispered to Noah was suddenly within reach, not just for them, but for so many others who struggled like her. I would love to help in any way I can, she said, her voice trembling. Mira's face lit up with excitement. Perfect. I want this to be a community effort, where the voices of the mothers matter. Together, we can build hope. As they plotted and planned, the future began to shimmer like a light at the end of a long tunnel. Each small step felt monumental. They reached out to other mothers, gathering ideas and resources, forming a support network that attracted attention and generosity from all corners of Maplewood. Alina felt a newfound purpose igniting in her heart. The weight of her struggles began to lift as she realized the power of connection and kindness. As she watched the community rally around their dream, she knew that hope was a force more potent than despair. With Mira by her side, they were not just dreaming, they were building a legacy of resilience. And for the first time in a long while, Alina believed that a brighter tomorrow was possible, that maybe, just maybe, she could create the life she had always envisioned for Noah. As they stood together, brainstorming ideas late into the night, Alina's heart brimmed with gratitude. Through the darkness, she had found a spark of light, igniting a purpose that would change the hearts of many. But this was only the beginning. The road ahead would still be fraught with challenges. However, they were determined to face them together, fueled by hope, resilience, and the indomitable human spirit. Days turned into weeks, and the transformation in Maplewood was palpable. The once quiet community center became a buzzing hub of activity, with mothers gathering to discuss projects, share ideas, and lean on one another for support. Alina and Mira worked tirelessly, fueled by the singular vision of creating a sanctuary for single mothers. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, Alina stood outside the community center, watching mothers arrive with their children. The laughter of children filled the air, and she felt a wave of warmth wash over her. This was the beginning of something beautiful. Do you see what I see? Mira said, joining her at the entrance. Her hair glowed in the fading light, and her eyes sparkled with excitement. Hope, Alina replied, her voice soft. Hope that these mothers can find strength in each other and build a brighter future for their kids. Mira nodded. And that's all thanks to you, Alina. You've inspired so many already. Alina shook her head, feeling a familiar flutter of insecurity. I am just one person. It's the community that is coming together. I am merely a part of it. You are a vital part of it, Mira insisted, placing a reassuring hand on Alina's shoulder. Your strength resonates with everyone. You've shown them the power of vulnerability. Alina smiled, grateful for Mira's encouragement. But deep down, she still grappled with her fears. Would they be able to sustain this momentum? Would people continue to rally behind their shared dream? As doubt crept in, she pushed it away, choosing to focus on the positive. The following day, after a successful planning meeting, they received a surprising phone call. It was Mr. Caldwell, Mira's father. Mira, I've heard whispers about your project. I'd like to discuss it further. Mira's face fell momentarily, then brightened again. That's wonderful. I'll set up a meeting. Alina watched as Mira's enthusiasm bubbled over, but a knot formed in her stomach. Mr. Caldwell was a powerful businessman, and Alina couldn't shake the image of a looming shadow over the dream. Would he support them, or would he seek to control the project? When the day of the meeting arrived, Alina donned her best attire, hoping to project confidence. As she walked into the Caldwell mansion, the grandeur of the place was overwhelming. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead, and the air smelled of fresh flowers. Thank you for meeting with us, Mr. Caldwell, Mira said, her voice steady as they took their seats. Mr. Caldwell, a distinguished man with sharp features, leaned back in his chair, studying them. Tell me about the sanctuary you wish to build. Alina cleared her throat, feeling her heart race. Our goal is to create a safe haven for single mothers, a place where they can find resources, support, and community. We want them to know they are not alone. He listened intently, his gaze shifting between them. That's noble, he said finally. But where will the funding come from? Mira and Alina exchanged glances. We've received support from local businesses and donations from the community, Mira began, but Mr. Caldwell interrupted. I can provide significant funding, but I must have a say in how the money is used. Philanthropy is not without its price. Elena's heart sank. They had envisioned the sanctuary as a collaborative effort, a home built by the community for the community. We wanted to remain accessible and focused on the mother's needs, she said, her voice steady despite her nerves. We want their voices to guide us. Mr. Caldwell raised an eyebrow. That is an idealistic approach, but I need assurances that this will be sustainable. It is not just about good intentions. Mayor's face hardened. We were not just seeking charity, Mr. Caldwell. We were rebuilding a vision rooted in dignity and empowerment. The conversation dragged on, with tension simmering in the air. When they finally left the mansion, Elena felt the weight of the world on her shoulders. What if we lose his support? She asked, fear creeping into her voice. Mira took a deep breath, her eyes unwavering. Then we'll find another way. The sanctuary is too important to compromise. We'll seek out more support from the community. People want to help. Elena nodded, but uncertainty loomed over her like a dark cloud. The following weeks were filled with both progress and setbacks. The community rallied behind them, but fundraising proved challenging. Each dollar raised felt hard-fought, and the pressure mounted. One afternoon, as Elena sorted through donation boxes, a knock on the door startled her. It was Mrs. Jenkins, a familiar face from the grocery store. I brought some items for the center, she said, her smile warm. And I wanted to see how you were doing. Elena's heart swelled with gratitude. Thank you, Mrs. Jenkins. It means the world to us. Mrs. Jenkins noticed the weariness in Elena's eyes. You are doing amazing work for our community, dear. Don't forget to take care of yourself amidst all this. Elena chuckled softly, realizing how true those words rang. I'll try, I promise. As they chatted, Mrs. Jenkins shared stories of her garden, how it bloomed brighter each spring, reminding her to nourish her spirit. You really like that garden, Elena. You recultivating hope for others. Just remember that you are allowed to grow too. Elena felt tears prickling at the corners of her eyes. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. In the weeks that followed, hearts and spirits began to bloom in Maplewood. They held fundraisers that attracted local artists, bakers, and musicians, all wanting to contribute. Each success reignited hope, and Elena felt the community as strength lifting her burdens little by little. However, just as things seemed to be on the right track, a massive storm hit Maplewood, wreaking havoc in its wake. Trees were uprooted, homes were damaged, and the community center suffered significant flooding. Elena felt as though her heart was breaking. We can catch a break, she said, staring at the damage as Mira stood beside her, equally devastated. We'll rebuild, Mira said, determination igniting her voice. We've come too far to let this stop us. Elena nodded, although doubt gnawed at her. But how? We don't have the funds. Mira's brow furrowed in thought. We'll reach out to the community again. They've rallied so many times before. We'll host a charity event, rebuild what we can, and show them that the sanctuary is worth fighting for. The next few weeks were grueling. The community came together in an inspiring display of resilience. Volunteers filled the center, mucking out waterlogged debris while others offered meals and supplies. Amidst the chaos, the spirit of hope shone brightly. Look at everyone working together, Mira said, her eyes glistening with tears. This is what it means to be part of something bigger. Elena felt a swell of gratitude. She realized that the sanctuary wasn't just about physical space, it was a testament to the power of connection, love, and resilience. As they hosted the charity event, with music echoing through the air and laughter ringing out under twinkling lights, Elena witnessed the magic of community. The room was filled with warmth and kindness as people shared stories, hopes, and dreams. Mira took to the microphone, her voice steady and filled with passion. What we're rebuilding is more than just a home. We're recreating a safe haven, a place where mothers can come together and thrive, and it is all because of you. Elena watched as donations poured in, each dollar a brick in the foundation of their dream. The energy in the room was electric, and she felt a sense of belonging she had never known before. As the night came to a close, a woman approached Elena. I am a single mother too, she said, her voice shaking. I've struggled for years, but what you and Mira are doing is inspiring. Thank you for creating this space. Elena felt tears stream down her cheeks, her heart swelling with love. We're not alone. We're all in this together. And in that moment, she realized that their journey wasn't just about building a sanctuary, it was about fostering a community that embraced each other in their struggles and triumphs. As the weeks turned into months, the sanctuary slowly took shape. The building was secured, and renovations began, with mothers contributing their skills and labor. Alina felt like a dreamer witnessing a miracle unfold. One evening, as she walked through the center, she saw mothers teaching their children, sharing stories, and laughing together. The joy in the air was contagious, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. "Look at what we've created," Mira said, standing beside her. "It is not just a home, it is a family." Alina smiled, her heart full. "I never imagined I could be part of something so beautiful." Mira's eyes twinkled with pride. "You are the heartbeat of this place, Alina. Your kindness and strength have ignited a revolution." And as they stood together, watching the community thrive, Alina knew that the struggles she had faced had led her here to a life woven with hope, support, and love. As the sun rose over Maplewood, its golden rays spilled through the windows of the new sanctuary, casting a warm glow on the walls that had once been bare. The renovations were coming together, and with each brushstroke, Alina felt the whispers of dreams transforming into reality. Beneath her feet, the floorboards vibrated with life, an echo of laughter and conversation filling the air, a beautiful symphony of resilience. "Are you ready for today?" Mira asked, her voice bright with excitement as she entered the room, carrying a tray of freshly baked muffins. Alina, who had been staring at the walls adorned with colorful drawings from local children, snapped back to the present. "I think so. It feels surreal, don't it? We were actually opening our doors." "Of course it is," Mira exclaimed, her eyes sparkling. "You've poured your heart into this place. It is not just a building, it is a dream brought to life." Alina took a deep breath, allowing Mira's enthusiasm to wash over her like a soothing balm. "I just hope everyone feels welcomed. I want them to know this is a place of safety, a home." "Trust me, they will," Mira assured her. "It is your kindness that binds this community together, and today we all celebrate that." As the sun climbed higher, more mothers started to arrive, each carrying their stories, struggles, and hopes. The air soon filled with the fragrant aroma of coffee mingling with the scent of fresh pastries. The sanctuary was a tapestry of love, and Alina moved from mother to mother, greeting them with a warm smile, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Welcome, I am so glad you were here," she said, hugging a mother named Clara, who had joined the community center just weeks before. "Are you excited for today?" "I can't believe it is finally happening," Clara replied, her voice bubbling with joy. "I've been telling my kids about it every day. They were so eager to see what you've created." Alina felt a rush of warmth at Clara's enthusiasm. "We're all in this together, aren't we? This is for all of us." As the event unfolded, Alina watched in awe as the sanctuary transformed before her eyes. Children giggled in play areas adorned with colorful murals, while mothers gathered in cozy nooks to share stories and laughter. It was a vibrant celebration of community, a space where worries momentarily faded and hope blossomed. At the corner of the room, Mira had organized a small stage for local performers to share their music and stories. A gentle strumming of a guitar began to fill the space, drawing everyone's attention. An artist named Leo took the microphone, a single father with a voice that resonated with raw emotion. "This song is for all the strong mothers out there," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "You are the heartbeat of your families, and your resilience inspires us all." Tears welled in Alina's eyes. She could feel the weight of collective struggles, but in that moment, it was transformed into a celebration of strength, a reminder that they were not alone. As Leo played, she caught Mira's eye across the room. They exchanged a knowing smile, a silent acknowledgement of how far they had come and the journey still ahead. But as the music soothed her soul, a familiar knot twisted in her stomach. What if this was just a fleeting moment of joy? What if the challenges returned, shadowing their dreams once again? "Hey," Mira said, sidling up next to her, noticing the crease of worry on Alina's forehead. "What is going on in that beautiful mind of yours?" "I can shade the feeling that this is just the beginning of more challenges," Alina admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "What if we can sustain it? What if people don't come back after today?" Mira placed a reassuring hand on Alina's arm. "Alina, look around. See the smiles. This is not about just today. It is about the connections we've built, the love we've fostered. We are a family now." Alina took a deep breath, absorbing Mira's words. The sanctuary was alive with laughter, with hope. "You were right, this is a family," she said, allowing the gratitude to wash over her like a wave. "And family stands together through thick and thin." As the day progressed, mothers shared their stories, their resilience spilling into the open like sunlight chasing away clouds. They spoke of struggles and triumphs, of sleepless nights and boundless love. Alina felt the beauty of vulnerability weaving them together, a poignant reminder that everyone carried their battles, but together they could rise. "Mommy, look." Noah's excited voice cut through her thoughts as he ran up to her, his little hands clutching a colorful drawing. "I made this for you." Alina knelt, eyes lighting up as she took the drawing. "It is beautiful, sweetheart, is it is?" "Yep, we re in the garden." Noel beamed, pointing to the flowers drawn with vibrant colors. His innocent joy was contagious, and Alina felt a smile stretch across her face. "Thank you for reminding me to dream, buddy. You inspire me every day," she said, kissing his forehead. Noel giggled, the sound a soothing balm to her anxious heart. In that moment, she understood that the sanctuary was not just about helping others, it was about creating a legacy of hope for him and the children of Maplewood. As the sun set, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, the celebration took a more intimate turn. Mira invited everyone to gather in a circle to share their hopes for the sanctuary. Muffled voices echoed around the room as women took turns expressing their dreams and aspirations, and the unity in that space was palpable. "I hope this place becomes a second home where we can support one another through everything life throws at us," Clara said, her voice quaking with emotion. "I hope our children always feel safe and loved here," another mother added, her eyes glistening. One by one, the dreams flowed, and Alina felt her heart swell with pride. In a world that often felt heavy with struggle, the sanctuary became a beacon of light, illuminating not only their hopes, but also the power of community and the beauty of shared resilience. When it was Alina's turn, she felt a surge of emotion. "I hope we always remember to lift each other up," she began, her voice steady despite the tears threatening to fall. "We all face battles, but together, we can create a beautiful legacy for our children, a legacy rooted in kindness, strength, and hope." The room erupted in applause, and Alina felt the warmth of appreciation envelop her. That night, as they shared a meal together, the bonds formed in that sanctuary grew deeper, a laughter ringing in her ears like music, a reminder of the strength that emerged from their unity. But as days turned into weeks, the initial excitement began to wane, and the reality of sustaining the sanctuary loomed large. Alina found herself grappling with doubts again. What if they couldn't maintain the momentum? What if it all crumbled in the face of reality? During one particularly challenging week, Alina walked into the sanctuary, her heart heavy with the pressure of fundraising efforts that had dwindled. The energy felt different, the spark of excitement had dimmed. Others were busy with day-to-day life, and attendance at meetings had significantly dropped. As she surveyed the room, uncertainty crept into her mind. "Mira, do you think we can keep this going?" she asked, her voice barely audible. "What if people lose interest?" Mira looked up from her notepad, her brow furrowed in thought. "Alina, every journey has its ups and downs. We've made a difference already. This space is about more than attendance, it is about the community we've built. We just need to remind them of that." They decided to host a brainstorming session, inviting everyone back to share ideas on how to revitalize the sanctuary. The night of the meeting arrived, and with trepidation, Alina watched as mothers trickled in. She took a deep breath and prepared herself for an open discussion. "Thank you all for being here," Alina began, her voice steady despite the anxiety that bubbled beneath the surface. "I know things have been challenging lately, but let us talk about how we can keep our sanctuary thriving." As the conversation unfolded, ideas flowed like a river, vibrant and full of life. They discussed workshops, classes, and community events that could engage both mothers and their children. Each suggestion ignited a spark of enthusiasm, reminding Alina of the strength found in their collective voice. A mother named Sarah suggested organizing craft nights where moms could bond while creating art with their children. "It would be a fun way to bring everyone together," she said, her voice ringing with excitement. Another mother chimed in, "What if we host a monthly potluck? Everyone could bring their favorite dishes to share. It would deepen our connections and allow us to celebrate our diverse cultures." Alina felt her heart swell with inspiration. "These are all incredible ideas. Let us plan for the next month and make it a priority to engage with each other." As they wrapped up the meeting, the energy in the room buzzed with renewed enthusiasm. They all left with a sense of purpose, a reminder that even in the face of challenges, they were stronger together. Weeks turned to months, and as the sanctuary blossomed with creativity, support, and laughter, Alina felt her fears begin to. Alina stood at the center of the sanctuary, watching as vibrant bursts of color filled the walls. The recent craft night had transformed the once best spaces into a tapestry of laughter and creativity. Children's handprints became flowers blooming in a garden, and paintings of sunlit skies adorned the walls. Each stroke of paint was a testament to resilience, to a community that refused to be defined by its struggles. "Look at this, Mom!" Noah exclaimed, holding up a painting of two stick figures holding hands under a big, smiling sun. "It is Asif." Alina knelt beside him, her heart swelling with pride. It's beautiful, sweetheart. UV captured our happiness so perfectly. Do you really think so? He asked, his eyes wide with innocence. Absolutely, UV made it shine. She pulled him close, feeling the warmth of his little body against hers, a reminder of why they fought so hard every day. Over the next few weeks, the sanctuary thrived, welcoming mothers and children from all walks of life. They shared stories, cooked meals together, and offered support in ways Alina had only dreamed of. However, the reality of sustaining such a place lingered like a shadow at the edge of her happiness. One rainy afternoon, as she organized supplies for the upcoming potluck, a familiar face appeared at the door. "Hey, Alina," Clara called, her voice bright despite the downpour. "I brought some decorations for the event." "Clara," Alina greeted, stepping aside to let her in. "I love that you're so enthusiastic. Thank you for helping us make this special." "Of course, I've been thinking about how we can make this a real gathering, something everyone looks forward to." Clara's excitement was palpable, and Alina felt her own spirits lift. As the potluck approached, the sanctuary buzzed with preparations. Mothers were bringing their cherished recipes, eager to showcase their culinary heritage. But alongside the excitement, Alina felt the weight of uncertainty creeping back. How would they maintain this momentum? What if the turnout wasn't as expected? "Are you okay?" Mira asked one day while they were setting up for the potluck. She noticed Alina's distracted gaze as she wiped down tables. "Yeah, just thinking about everything," Alina admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "What if we put in all this effort and only a few people show up? I don't want to let anyone down." Mira placed a comforting hand on Alina's shoulder, grounding her. "It is normal to worry, but remember that this is about more than just numbers. This is about building connections, nurturing friendships. Even if a handful of people come, that is still meaningful." Alina nodded, holding onto Mira's words like a lifeline. "You're right, it is just hard to shake the feeling of doubt sometimes. Let us focus on the excitement, the joy of bringing everyone together," Mira encouraged, her eyes sparkling. "UV created something beautiful here, and people will feel that." The day of the potluck arrived, and the air was filled with the rich aromas of diverse dishes. Mothers arrived with steaming casseroles, fragrant rice dishes, and sweet desserts that delighted the senses. The sanctuary was alive with chatter and laughter, a reminder that they were all part of something extraordinary. "Welcome, everyone. I am so grateful you all could make it," Alina announced, her voice filled with warmth as she stood at the front of the room, Noah clinging to her leg. "Let us come together, share our stories, and celebrate our community." As the dishes were set out, Alina marveled at the variety before her. "This is amazing. I can't wait to try everything," she said, her excitement bubbling over. "Wait until you taste my mom's lasagna," Noah chimed in, his eyes bright. "It is the best in the world." Laughter erupted, and Alina felt a surge of joy as she watched them mingle, exchanging recipes and stories. The sanctuary echoed with the sounds of unity, a reminder that they were not alone in their struggles. At one point, Clara walked over, her expression contemplative. "Alina, can I ask you something?" "Of course, what is on your mind?" Alina replied, sensing the weight of Clara's words. "I've been thinking about how we can reach even more mothers in our community. There are so many others who could benefit from this space. How can we encourage them to join us?" Alina felt a rush of inspiration. "What if we host an open house? We can invite everyone to see the sanctuary, share what we've built, and offer resources." Clara's eyes lit up. "That is a brilliant idea. We can even have a sign-up sheet for those interested in joining our activity." As the potluck continued, Alina felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, they began to brainstorm ideas for the open house, excitement buzzing in the air. Their collective voices filled the sanctuary, and she couldn't help but smile, knowing that they were creating something lasting. But as the open house approached, doubt resurfaced. Would anyone really come? Would they be able to communicate the sanctuary's value to those who needed it most? "Hey, Alina," Mira said, sensing her anxiety as they set up for the day. "You look worried again. What is going on?" Alina sighed, running a hand through her hair. "I just want it to be a success. I want those mothers to feel welcomed and seen. What if they don't come? What if it all falls flat?" Mira took a deep breath, her gaze steady. "Remember, this isn't just about today. It is about planting seeds. Even if one person comes and feels inspired, that is a victory. This is a long journey, not a race." Alina nodded, grateful for Mira's steady presence. "I'll try to focus on that. Thank you for always grounding me." The day of the open house dawned bright and warm. Excitement rippled through the sanctuary as they prepared to welcome new faces. Alina's heart raced as she glanced at the door, hoping to see mothers arriving. At first, only a few familiar faces trickled in. Nonetheless, she greeted them with open arms, showcasing the sanctuary and its offerings. Slowly, more mothers began to fill the space, their laughter weaving through the air like music. "Welcome, I am so glad you could come." Alina beamed, her heart swelling as she introduced each area of the sanctuary. As the day unfolded, Alina noticed mothers engaging in conversations, their eyes lighting up with recognition. They shared experiences, struggles, and laughter, forming connections that transcended their initial hesitations. "Can we come back next week?" the mother named Jess asked, her voice filled with hope. "I feel like I've finally found a place where I belong." "Absolutely, we're here for you," Alina replied, her heart swelling. "This sanctuary is a space for all of us to thrive." As the open house came to a close, Alina felt a mix of emotions, joy, relief, and gratitude. They had welcomed new mothers into their fold, creating even more vibrant connections. Later that evening, Alina sank into a chair, exhaustion washing over her. Noah climbed onto her lap, wrapping his little arms around her. "You did so good today, Mommy." "Thank you, Noah. I couldn't have done it without you," she replied, a smile breaking through her fatigue. Mira entered the room, her expression bright. "Alina, that was incredible. We had so many new faces today, people who genuinely want to be a part of this." Alina felt a rush of relief. "I am so grateful that it's like the sanctuary is finally becoming what we envisioned." "Exactly," Mira said, her eyes glinting with excitement. "But this is just the beginning. We need to build on this momentum. Let us continue to create events that draw people in." The weeks that followed brimmed with activity as Alina and Mira worked tirelessly to engage the new mothers who had joined their community. They organized support groups, parenting workshops, and family game nights. Each event attracted more attendees, all eager to share in the sanctuary's spirit of unity. But amidst the excitement, unfamiliar feelings began to brew within Alina. With each new face that joined their sanctuary, she felt a twinge of insecurity. Was she enough? Did she truly have the strength to lead this burgeoning community? One evening, while setting up for a workshop, Clara approached her, sensing Alina's unease. "You've done an amazing job, Alina. Look at how far we've come, but I can see that something is bothering you. What is going on?" Alina hesitated, unsure whether to voice her vulnerabilities. "I am just worried that I am not doing enough. With everything growing, I want to be the leader everyone needs, but sometimes I feel like I am in over my head." Clara's expression softened. "You are doing enough. More than enough. Look around. You've created a sanctuary for us, but it is okay to feel overwhelmed. Anyone within your position. Just remember, you're not alone in this." "Thank you, Clara. It means the world to hear that," Alina said, her heart swelling with appreciation. As the weeks turned into months, Alina learned to lean on her community, to trust in their shared journey. Slowly, the feelings of inadequacy began to fade, replaced by a deep sense of belonging.